Good morning. First of all, I want to thank for the opportunity of being in a conference that is not at all my main area of research, but to give me the opportunity of showing how we can link all areas. We usually talk about multidisciplinarity, but normally we don't act like that. So each one of us has a knowledge, and for that, I think that we can connect things and do better for society. This presentation was made with the collaboration of a colleague that is from management and is from Sinop University, Turkey. He could not be here, but he helped me linking this kind of issues because I want also to mix this with the planning of the intervention in communities. But the first thing I'm going to show you is an image that I think all of you know. It's the pale blue dot. If you remember in February 2014, not 2014, 1990, the Voyager 1 was about 6 billion kilometers from Earth and took this picture. So sometimes we don't think about the planet and the universe doesn't think about us also because we are that little dot there. We are nothing. If we don't care about our planet, nobody is going to do it. But at the same time, we are part of the universe. And I usually tell a story about this little bird, colibri bird, do you know? And he loves to go to the flowers and with little drops, and there was this fire, and he was picking little drops of water to erase the fire, and someone says to him, "Are you crazy? What do you think you are going to do something with this little drop of water?" And he said, "I do my part. So let's do our part." And each one of us give a little bit of what we know. The objectives of this presentation was to propose to explore the intersection between green chemistry and community social intervention, highlighting the potential synergies between these areas to drive local development. So by adopting a holistic approach, identifying opportunities to integrate clean energy initiatives with social intervention programs. And also to build a more resilient and inclusive society where green chemistry and renewable energy not only powers our homes, but also strengthens our communities. The theme of green chemistry and renewable sustainable energy has gained increasing relevance in the global context with the growing focus of mitigating climate change and seeking environmentally responsible energy solutions. However, achieved through transformation, it is essential to consider not only the technical and economic aspects, but also the social and community implications of this transition. So green chemistry and intervention in a community is good if we integrate these fields and promote an holistic approach to this sustainability that can benefit both people and planet. The recognition of the contribution of each of us as an area in a multidisciplinary way, the cooperation between different areas in the construction of knowledge, and the transversality in the use of research techniques allows a closer approach to reality. So we need a space for dialogue and a common reference metrics with shared objectives. And I mean this because when I'm working with architects, for example, I look at the community and I see the needs of the population. The architect is going to think about the well-being in terms of the houses and the common spaces. And but also these common spaces need another thing. And the environment, the fact that the water is good, that the air is not polluted, and things like that. So I think that chemistry is very good if humanity is good. It can be very bad if humanity is not very good. But we cannot forget that everything around us is chemistry. And chemistry lies outside and inside us. So that was the main reason why I really want to be here with you. And it is the third year that I participate in this conference. The holistic approach in general develops comprehensive policies that align renewable energy goals with social sustainability objectives and implement regulatory frameworks that incentivize sustainable practices and penalize unsustainable ones, foster partnerships between governments, NGOs, private sector and communities to create cohesive strategies and encourage this interdisciplinary research and innovation that combine technological, social and economic aspects. So engage communities in the planning and the implementation of renewable energy projects to ensure that needs and values are considered. And provide education and training programs to build local capacity and expertise, design renewable energy systems that are culturally appropriate and environmental sensitive, and use life cycle analysis to assess the long-term impacts and benefits of renewable energy projects. And so the benefits for local development and community resiliency reside in economic development, because green chemistry projects can stimulate local economies by creating jobs and attracting investments, lead to the development of local supply chains, and boost related industries such as construction and services. Local renewable energy generation reduces reliance on external energy sources, enhancing community self-reliance and energy independence. And it can lower energy costs for households and business, freeing up resources for other development initiatives. And its resilience, given the fact that renewable energy systems, especially the centralized ones like solar panels and microgrids, can provide reliable power during natural disasters and grid failures. And this means that the communities are better equipped to handle disruptions and recover quickly. We are going to face a lot of natural disasters in the future, by the way. Social cohesion, because projects that involve community participation can strengthen social ties and collective action and empower the communities with control over their energy resources that are more resilient and proactive in addressing other social and environmental challenges. And environmental preservation, helping preserve local ecosystems by reducing pollution and conserving natural resources. So sustainable energy practices support long-term environmental health, which means well-being of future generations. Integrating renewable energy with social sustainability through a holistic approach offers numerous benefits, not only addressing the urgent need for clean energy, but also promotes equitable development and enhances community in all aspects, and fosters sustainable local economies in sense of prioritizing both technological advancements and social inclusiveness can create a sustainable future that benefits everyone. Because when we talk about sustainability, we are talking about a process. This is not something that, okay, this is sustainable, let's finish. It's not. It's going to be the big goal of our future if you want to live in this planet for a lot of more thousands years. So developing projects that combine green chemistry and renewable energy with the social welfare programs, such as health clinics powered by solar energy or schools with renewable energy sources, ensures that these clean energy projects directly benefit the community by improving local infrastructure, creating jobs opportunities, and reducing the energy costs. And technical integration and implementing advanced renewable energy technologies tailored to specific needs and conditions of the community, utilizing these renewable energy projects to stimulate the local economies and creating the jobs for the people. Oh my God. This is, okay. So, as you may know, I work in social sustainability. So when I talk about social sustainability, I'm referring to the ability of a community to develop processes and structures that meet the needs of its current members and the ability to do and support future generations to maintain a healthy community. We often see that states, they invest sometimes in urban regeneration, but after 1 or 2 years, the community stays the same. So they spend the money and then nothing was done. And that was my main question when I did my PhD. Why governments invest so much in vulnerable communities and they stay the same? There must be something. And one of the results I achieved was, it was not, they don't do evaluation and they don't have a continuity character in the interventions. So it is impossible, because when we are talking about change, we are talking about generations, one at least, but 2 or 3 generations is when we start seeing the change. So this was one of the problems. So they cannot achieve sustainability, not today, not ever. And building strong cohesive communities through shared goals, collaboration, and mutual support was another of my considerations in my thesis. This is not like a immediate profit. It is an investment in human capital, and that is the only goal that governments don't really prioritize. So the thing comes from the community, encouraging participation, active participation, ensuring that all voices are heard and valued, and ensuring that all community members have access to opportunities and resources regardless of their background, creating inclusive spaces where diversity is celebrated and discrimination is not addressed, and stimulated local economies. That was in this means ensuring that all communities have access to clean energy, to reduce energy poverty and enhance quality of life, so that marginalized groups benefit from energy advancements. So renewable energy reduces air pollution, the problems of respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, and it promotes healthy living environments, contributing to overall well-being. Local renewable energy projects can empower communities by involving them in decision-making processes, and it encourages self-sufficient and resiliency, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility. People like to be in a community where they feel they belong. They feel they are integrated. Most of the times we listen about inclusion. I can include someone, but that person may not feel integrated in a community. When we feel that we are part of something, we start to be engaged and to have compromise and responsibility. We start to love the place. But if we are not happy, we cannot be integrated. Just to be there, it's the main step for unsuccess, I think. And everybody wants to have a quality of life, to have a good health, to have a good family. This is universal. It was part of the model I create about values that are universal all around the world. So this is not very difficult because all of you feel the same. You want to be happy. Yeah, that must be because I am also a teacher on ethics, so happiness is very important. Therefore, I start to think, well, this is very complex because social work has to deal with a lot of things. And these things about environment are transversal. Social issues are also transversal, it's part of our daily life. And then we have the economic crisis, one after the other. And we have new challenges to deal with, but the old ones are still there. They were not, we don't have solution for them. And then we have the human rights questioning. Every day we are losing. The 75 years of the Magna Carta of Human Rights is disappearing. In just every day we see that, but they still have this discourse. And of course, we have sustainable development that I heard since 2000 with the first goals until 2015. And then in 2015, they said that we need the sustainable development goals until 2030. And one of the sentences that is going with me every day is leave no one behind. It was not me that said that. They said that, leave no one behind. So each time I do something, I think about it. I use what was the discourse of the Sustainable Development Goals to go and fight for this beautiful sentence, but that I think that someone was inspired, but they forget. So I think this is very complex, but I like complexity. Complexity can be very simple. It's not complicated, it's simple, but it has a logic. And so this requires complex action. It cannot be the same solutions that fail. And the coherent social ecological, social environmental approach has to see several conditions fulfilled: a relation worldview, a multi-level and multifocal approach, the co-creation of social change, the building of communities and networks in their multiple dynamics and variables, and an ethical political reflection as an ongoing exercise. Every day we have to think about it. Through which to drive the process of social change in desired direction of sustainability based on social justice. And at the time, I read an author from Canada, Judith Lee. She is also a social worker, and she wrote a book in 2001 called The Empowerment Approach, Building the Beloved Communities, and I find that wonderful. And she talked about this multifocal vision because she linked 7 theoretical axes, thinking about the historical vision of the place, of the community, of the person. When we intervene, we need to know all about it. All the processes of systemic theory, of critical theory, and she linked everything, and she even created a concept of eth class, because today we are not dealing just with ethnies or social classes, we have it together. So it was very interesting, and I did it in my model also for intervening. But we cannot forget that the massive social and cultural challenge to adapt human needs and wants to the planetary boundaries. Social work here is specialized in promoting change in the life of individuals and communities, and as in principle useful know-how to apply it. So among other things, we also have to include sometimes emotional support and other processes that people need to go through when changing their lifestyles and organizing a meaningful life for people and to support them. So let me see here something. At the same time, it is important to learn and embed more respectful and collaborative ways to relate with and be part of the web of life across the micro, meso, and macro levels of society. And also these interventions, we work at the intersection of the social and environmental issues to create these holistic solutions. So this includes community participation, capacity building, resource management, and policy advocacy. And these interventions are tailored to the unique needs and context of each community. Then in 2012, I was in Sweden. And you may say, okay, Sweden, but I have other examples. But this one I had to show you. I showed you on the first time I was in this conference. And now it's going to be a brief explanation. I was in Hammarby Storgatan in Sweden in 2012 and 2013. So what happens was that I wanted to know what is this eco-neighborhood thing. And they did it in a suburb of Stockholm. And it is that was to be a port area with offices and buildings and activities. Not it was like a parallel economy, and activities were developing, and this area was heavily polluted. But this was not an obstacle. They go in front and they create this neighborhood with an idea that next year in 2025, this is going to be finished, but people live there. And then while I was there, I interviewed most of the people. It was the first part of the building. I was with Eric, the project responsible, the engineer, and for the first time, I drink a water that was part of the everyday life waters of the people in Hammarby. And I said, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to drink this, but then I drink and it was good because they create the Symbiocity model. And this was one of the most wonderful things I saw. It is an holistic and inclusive approach. And the objective was to decontaminate the use of already built up land, sustainable materials, emphasizes on the public transportation, limiting noise, and optimizing energy, water, and waste services. You can, of course, consult this, and you are going to understand this much better than me. And the main objective here was to improve the health, safety, and comfort and quality of life for poor people living in urban areas to address these urban challenges. And this Symbiocity approach supports cities in planning sustainability and identifying inclusive and innovative solutions to urban challenge through synergies between different urban systems, and the approach is largely founded on practical experience and expertise from the Swedish local government. You can find this and in several things. You just have to put Symbiocity model and it disappears. And also within the context of the global platform for sustainable cities on the global program on nature-based solutions for climate resilience, this aims to bring together policymakers, practitioners, and experts to share knowledge and helps urban areas integrate climate and biodiversity concerns into urban development. This engineer, Eric, was very nice. We scheduled an interview and he was all morning explaining all the processes and how people are going to deal with this when they achieve 2025. So they are open to show this to a lot of countries, but they didn't manage or they didn't succeed to have this eco-cycle model around the world because governments don't want to invest. So, but cities are uniquely positioned to deliver green recovery after crisis with this and provide the foundation of resilience. In fact, COVID has highlighted this in this neighborhood, and this approach helps to understand how to be able to manage urban development in a way that is inclusive because people work there, they don't use cars, and they have schools for their children, they have health centers for supporting and before going to a hospital, etc. So the goal is when they, in 2025, residents themselves will be responsible for energy, for the district heating and district cooling, the biogas and fertilizants, and solar cells and solar panels. They will manage all this system by themselves. They were prepared since the beginning to do this. And 50% of the fuel for the production of the energy they need, purified water, wastewater and waste are used for the production of heat, cooling, electricity, and biogas. And about the district heating, the combustible waste will be used to produce district heating and electricity. And in Ammerby, the heat in the treated wastewater from the Eric's Downs, I don't know how to pronounce, treated plant in use for district heating production. And the wastewater has them cooled down and can be used to cool the water that circulates in the district. The biogas, the food waste and sewage are digested into biogas, which is used by Stockholm city buses, and the digested soil is used as a manure. And you say, okay, but this is Sweden. No. I have a lot of projects to show you. How much time I have? 15? I'm not used to talk so much. Okay. But first, why did I choose this and I create a model that I'm not going to show you my model. If you want, I have it published. Because I thought that this ecological perspective in theoretical ways that provides this holistic look and giving the fact of the phenomenon that occurs at various levels of a society and within different systems was thought in a key concept that is interrelation. We depend on each other. We are interdependent and we interrelate with each other, in which it's like the transistors, in which each system operates interconnected to the functions of another system, and this is going on and on and on. And so this is a combination of system concepts and ecological in an ecological framework, because this theory serves as a bridge between professionals from different fields and for the field practice and research, and because this gives us the possibility of a never-ending relation connection among research processes and professional practice, mine and from the other areas. And because the meaning that I wanted to found for the vulnerable community in this case lies on human rights, citizenship, respect for minorities, preservation of life and nature, and liberty and responsibility, promoting social transformation, but with the rhythms of each community and the empowerment of individuals, and meet and answer the challenges that we have in social vulnerable communities in a complex globalized world. We cannot think things like it is an Excel sheet, I'm sorry. People are not columns. We cannot put things like that. This is very subjective. So we reach this point of a society because we start thinking about things instead of people. And I'm not doing a political discourse. This is a fact. Everybody feels this. So this eco-social starting point is that even global change is made locally, and that also social work clients and people with lesser resources must have the right to and the opportunity to sustainable choices and lifestyles. And that's what make me go forward with this. But I have a lot of cases to show you. In this first one, solar energy in rural communities, it was the installation of solar panels in an off-grid village, and it was in India, Kenya, and Bangladesh. These initiatives of several projects have aimed at providing solar energy to remote off-grid communities to improve access to reliable electricity. For example, in Barfoot College, India, they want to become solar engineers, empowering them to install and maintain solar system in their village. In Kenya, provides affordable pay-as-you-go solar home systems to rural households. And the outcomes of this was the improved electricity access, and solar panels offer consistent and reliable electricity, reducing dependence on non-renewable and polluting energy sources that improves health and the air quality to the reduction in kerosene use, and leading to better respiratory health. And enhance education and economical opportunities, and extend the study hours for students due to reliable lighting, contributing to a better educational performance and outcomes. So, something that for us is so basic that I want to study at 10, but for them it's not. And also in Bangladesh, the solar panels installed in schools and homes have allowed students also to study after dark, and that was significantly improving in the exams pass rates. About economic development, the creation of local jobs, and in the installation and maintaining of solar systems. And over 3,000 women were trained as solar engineers, more than 80,000 households electrified, and over 1 million solar home system installed. So 3 million people benefit from this clean energy. So integrating solar energy in this kind of projects into rural communities not only provides the sustainable electricity, but also catalyze the community development, creating educational and economic opportunities that significantly improve quality of life. The other example I brought is the wind energy in coastal regions. It was in Denmark, Scotland, and United States. These initiatives for various projects have development community-owned wind farms to harness wind energy and promote local development. For example, in Denmark, has become a model for community driven renewable energy, with residents collectively owning and managing wind turbines. In Scotland, they call it the dancing ladies, has been an instrumental in local development. And what happens is that profits from wind energy are reinvested into the community, funding public services and infrastructure. That's good because I'm finishing. And also schools and other local projects. So this sense of ownership and pride amongst residents increased a lot, and it creates jobs. And the Dancing Ladies wind farm generates substantial income for all the community. So the other one, the third one that I have to show you, is the biomass energy in agricultural areas. This is my favorite. Because they utilize agricultural waste for energy production. And it is in places like India, Brazil, and also United States. But the projects have been launched to convert agricultural waste into biomass energy, providing sustainable solutions for energy production. And for example, this converts rice husks into electricity, providing power to rural village in India. In Brazil, the sugarcane biomass using sugarcane bagasse for energy production. I don't know, I don't really know because I don't understand nothing of how this process is going to, but I find this wonderful. And also this has significantly decreased rice husk waste in Indian villages, and utilizing it for energy instead of allowing it to decompose or be burned. And also the biomass projects provide a consistent and a renewable source of energy, reducing dependence on fossil fuels. So this electrified over 600 villages in India, and in Brazil, this generates surplus electricity for the grid, and had a significant reduction in waste through the use of bagasse. So this leaves us with the future challenges that we have. I know that we have financial constraints. I know that many rural areas lack the financial resources to invest in solar or wind energy, and the access to technology, the lack of local expertise and maintenance of capabilities, and in the long-term sustainability of renewable energy projects, and sometimes social resistance in the community acceptance, because people lose that trust. Someone goes there and says, okay, we are going to start here a project, but then 1 year after they go away and people start not to believing. So this is a work that takes a lot of years. But we also have opportunities, and this is one of them, of collaborating between governments, private sector, and the NGOs that can pool resources and expertise to support renewable energy and green chemistry projects, and innovative in financing, like creating financial solutions, develop of new financial models, even though those that have already been experimented and didn't work, but like microfinancing, crowdfunding, and green bonds to support renewable energy investments, and those incubators also, and community education programs and awareness and training. You can say to me, oh, that doesn't work. Yeah, but we cannot stop. We have to go. Because if we give up, it's going to be very complicated. So addressing this challenge through strategic opportunities can enhance the adoption of success in all these areas. And finally, issues of access, equity, and governance access that ensures fair distribution, equity, inclusive policies, governance, and all these practices for integration with collaborative approaches, arguing with the Sustainable Development Goals. And the long-term commitment is very important to achieve sustainability and resilience. And the future-proofing development strategies that ensure the long-term sustainability and resilience. And finally, policy recommendations, because my area is that. Incentives for renewable energy, project tax breaks. I was talking with this colleague that was saying that she invested in something that she wanted to test because no one in the industry wanted to patrocinate your work because they don't have tax refunding. This is one of the examples. How we pay from our own money to make research. That is incredible. Providing financial incentives, regulations for equitable access and funding mechanisms, grants, subsidies, and everything. But these measures to ensure all these kind of things comes from the market. We have to convince the market that this kind of future directions in research should be sponsored if they want to continue to have a market, because without people we don't have markets, we don't have companies, we don't have business. It is the people that buy, and they don't understand that. I hope that I can pass my message, and I encourage all of you, researchers, practitioners, policymakers, to explore and promote this integration of green chemistry and renewable energy with community intervention, because by working together, chemistries and social workers and other areas can create sustainable solutions, and that benefit both people and planet, and together I think that we can build a more just and sustainable society and a better world. Thank you.